Welcome to the Washdown podcast, episode number 60. And tonight we are joined by Police Officer Scott Nelson. He's a returning guest to the show. And he and James and I have a great conversation about Jeeps because Scott just bought one. So we kind of go down that rabbit hole and, we discuss a bunch of stuff just like normal. So hope you guys enjoy it. It was a great episode to shoot. Like, subscribe, click on the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. Here it is, episode number 60 of the Washdown podcast. Because your face doesn't say you're fine.
I have RBF.
No, it's RDF. I went over this with Dana Johnson and my wife.
I have resting gender neutral face.
You got to help me out, Scott. you just gotta.
It's only the third time I've seen you. And
that's 2022.
Not the normal face I'm used to.
It's a resting gender neutral face.
Great. So, hey everybody, we've gone completely liberal.
We've gone politically correct.
Politically correct?
It's 2022. Get with the times, old man.
Oh, so are you on the bandwagon of canceling Joe Rogan too?
No. Yes. Maybe. Yes. Only because I want his viewers to come over here. Well, they're like, God, we don't have Rogan to listen to. Who do we listen to? And I'm just like, hey.
So I was going to make a video about that, but I figured since it is 2022, I can't make a video about that. So.
But you can make a video about not making a video about it.
Right. What are your thoughts? Do you think that was a hit piece or not?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. That's been the general consensus from everyone that I've talked to. And every podcast that has talked about it has. Yeah. Yep. They conveniently cut and smashed it up and yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't here for the first one. I was excluded.
Were you not here for his?
Where
were you at? Oh, you probably just didn't show up.
He was late.
Listen, our tens of viewers follow this podcast because of me.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even know each other existed and who each other were until like a month after the pod. No, it was like a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was right after.
Yeah.
Why weren't you here that night?
When was it?
I think that was whenever Rachel was at WCPR the first time. And you had
Does it answer where I was?
Well, you were supposed to be back and were not. You missed 2 whole days of shooting.
What month was it?
Would have been August.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say September, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it might have been September. Yeah.
Was I in Colorado?
I think it was your motorcycle ride or something like that. I don't know.
Now I'm curious.
So whatever it was a complete bullshit reason.
Huh.
We did have the handsome Chris here, though.
Oh,
yes,
here.
we did.
Skip podcast. Yep, it's in my calendar. Skip podcast.
Yeah. Kind of figured.
Yep.
So, we decided we're going to talk about Jeeps today.
We did decide we're going to talk about Jeeps.
And motorcycles.
And, no.
Yeah. No, we're going to talk about motorcycles.
No,
and we're going to talk about all the dumbass shit.
Miranda's.
Absolutely. I was going to say that cops and firemen spend money on as coping mechanisms instead of getting their brain fixed the right way. But, yeah, we're going to talk about Moran specifically.
Yeah. Why am I writing in February? Because my brain needs it, damn it. That's why.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. You're fucking stupid for doing that.
Why?
Salt on the road. People are not looking for motorcycles.
They don't look for motorcycles in the summer.
They look for more in the summer than they do in the winter. And the roads are crap. And how many times have you fucking laid your bike over in the last week?
Listen.
Because of?
Stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
And mud.
Mm-hmm.
But
and all of that could have been avoided if
it wouldn't have snowed and people were paying attention.
take the top off your Jeep and go out in your Jeep instead.
His Jeep is in the
Yeah,
shop.
see, why do you
again.
I thought it was done.
It's mostly done. There's like one thing we're working on. We're trying to clear a code, and we know how to fix it. Learn something. So you may not have this problem because I don't know if your lift is tall enough. You might. Do you?
It's a 3.5-inch lift. What's the problem?
So Opie and I have been fighting our wheel speed sensors.
Okay.
And it throws that ABS code.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep getting dirt in them, and we couldn't figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
Until, thank God, at the shop we hired a guy from Chrysler.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh yeah, you just gotta extend the lines." And we're like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Oh yeah, any Jeep lifted over basically 4 inches, especially the Rubicons with the sway bar disconnect, they'll just flex and they'll pull that little line right out and they'll get dirt in it." And I'm like,
Yeah. Dude,
"Duh,
how did you...
duh."
It's the same thing with you have to extend the brake lines, and like whenever you lift anything, especially over 4 inches, there's a whole bunch more than just putting springs on it and calling it good.
Yeah, now I know that.
Yeah. I learned all that shit whenever I was lifting that YJ.
Oh,
That's why I had to put the new rear drive shaft and slip yoke eliminator and all that stuff on. Because it was 4 inches of lift.
Opie's Jeep and mine are going back. Opie's is going in, I think, next week
Yeah.
before Moab. So yeah.
I mean, it's an easy fix, though.
Yeah, as soon as you said it, I was just like, well, fuck me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an oil leak, I think. Could be the rear main seal. Maybe. Not sure. And my front drive shaft is looking a little bit weird where it runs into the transfer case.
You know what else I learned?
What's that?
There are 3 other prominent 4x4 shops in the city that I called and just asked because, so he was in the shop the other day and asking, we were pricing out diff covers,
Mm-hmm.
which you and I did on my first one.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of ours, when we do that now, it's built in, we service the differentials.
Mm-hmm.
Because why?
Because you lose all your fluid.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So I called the other shops because we had somebody else come in and we were like, and they're like, well, this shop said it was this much. We're like, well, we service your differentials. Well, the other shop didn't say I needed my differential service. And I was like, yeah, when you crack that case, you're going to start leaking oil. You're going to start leaking gear oil. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I know firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called the other shops and I was like, hey, just ask for prices and it's cheaper. I was like, do you service them? He's like, no, we don't need to service them. I was like, don't you have to undo the bolts to put on? He's like, yeah, but the things stay sealed. And I said, oh.
If you have a lube blocker on there, it might. That's the only thing, but that's something you'd have to put on aftermarket.
Yeah. And I guarantee you any Jeep over 10,000 miles that they crack those differentials on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we were kind of talking about that a little bit before you got here, because you were late. But I don't see the need for diff skid plates.
What?
I've never bashed mine.
Okay.
I know a ton of people that run without them. Never had an issue.
Good for them.
Now, the thing that I would say is that oil pan skid plate
100%.
is an absolute must.
Yep. Especially
You gave
if
me
you
a
have.
list.
Yeah, I did give him a list. Especially if you
Yeah.
have a 3.8. I did not put that oil pan skid.
Was it not on there?
No, because we have to go through a different vendor for it, and it's like $350.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mountain off-road, oil pan skid plate.
is that what it was? I got the same one as you did, but I thought
Yep.
it was a different brand.
Nope. Mountain off-road. It's more, M-O-R-E.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
That's the one, dude. And the reason I like that one above the other brands is because it covers part of the transmission, part of the engine, and all the
It's all the way back. It's all
yeah.
the way back to the heavy cross member.
Yeah.
Um,
If you jack up your oil pan with that thing on, you deserve it.
I have some gouges in my diff plates that say different. And you've been there for some of them. And it's not like I'm just bouncing through acting like a
Yeah, but
jackass.
I've done the same trails and not hit any of the shit that you hit.
Well, maybe I'm just more adventurous. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I hit him when you were off in a bathroom break.
Okay. Still had to drive over the same shit. You just need to slow down a little bit.
I do go slow.
Pay attention to where you're going.
I go too slow. Pat gets mad at how slow I go.
Well,
so I go slow enough.
Okay. Anyway, for me personally, that's not a huge need or want. And part of that is you're going to lose some height on your diffs anyway, so you're going to hit them more.
So I do wonder if you put them on, if you would hit them more.
You will. Because, I mean, the ones that we put on yours, we lost what?
1.5 inches?
At least. So, I mean, that could be all of the difference of you hitting them or not hitting them.
Yeah. Because a 4-inch lift on 38s, you would think
you would clear it. Because every time that we've been out together, I've had 35s on a 3.5-inch lift and never bashed my diff.
Yeah. But that oil pan one.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Gas
Total
tank.
game changer.
Gas tank is this.
And here's another thing.
I do have my gas tank, I guess.
They come with a factory.
Yeah, I think I put it on yours, but I don't.
So what I will say, do not buy crappy side steps. Get actual slide rails.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Rock rails.
Yeah. I just did it the fuck out of them.
Yeah. So I
You
noticed
and I have the same ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have ours are good.
Yeah.
the ones that I used to have on there, whenever I pulled them off and put my new rock rails on, I bent my body.
Well, you remember the ones that were on my Jeep when I first bought it, those stupid steps?
Mm-hmm. Basically the same ones that I have. Yeah.
I was like, no, this person didn't take this thing off-road. Not with those.
Yeah.
Or they'd be bent or ripped off.
Yep. I hit my side step one time out at one of the places that we go, and it bent the step. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then whenever I was pulling them off, I noticed, okay, it bent the step, it bent the rocker panel right here, and it also bent right here because they were not attached to the body mounts. They were attached to the body.
Oh.
Yes. So.
I hate people.
Yes. Stop. Well, and here's the thing. You can't even say they were cutting corners and being cheap because the actual rock sliders that I put on were less expensive than the steps that were on there. Those steps were $500 and something bucks. The rock sliders were $250.
Aren't you glad you got a Jeep?
Yeah.
We can just tell you all the ways you can tear it the fuck up.
I mean, I don't know if I could say it, but I'm like the virgin here.
Oh, so yeah, to everybody listening, our friend here bought a Jeep.
Yes.
Because he's stupid.
Because apparently he just has money he doesn't want anymore.
It's like a boat, but on land. You just, hey,
You do know what Jeep stands for, right?
Just empty every pocket.
There you go. Yep. First lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick up more overtime.
Yeah.
Hope off duty's good.
It's not too bad.
And I feel he's probably mad at me because when he first got, I was like, man, you're going to love it. It's great. You're Jeeps. Yay. Woohoo, Jeeps. Now I'm like, you are dumb.
Sucker. Got another one.
Make sure Jana doesn't watch this one until after hers is delivered.
Yeah, sure. She just went and bought one.
Yeah, they're a double Jeep. They're a double Jeep household
double
now.
Jeep family.
New.
Wow.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Is she going to off-road that one?
No, probably not. We'll
You mean
off-road.
you're not going to have your little two-way communication, hit all the trails together?
Could you imagine?
Start a YouTube channel for yourself?
What's a quicker way to get a divorce? Sitting in the same Jeep on the trails or sitting in separate Jeeps on the trails?
I think probably being outside the Jeep spotting and them not doing what you're telling them to do. And then they break something. That would be the fastest way.
She ain't driving my Jeep.
There you go. I said the same thing. And I may have drove 40% of the trails in Colorado last time we went. Because every time I got out to go spot somebody else, I turn around and here comes Rachel in the Jeep. I'm like, what are you doing? I really wanted to drive that trail.
Yeah. I was working off duty. Today's Tuesday, right?
I think.
I was working off duty Sunday, and she's like, can I take your Jeep to the store? Go ahead.
Walk, woman.
It's only 7 miles. You look fine.
Did you work out today? No, I guess you're walking.
She works out more than me, so.
This should be an easy walk.
Run it.
Oh, so what are your, and we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but what's your plans? Like, what's the allure of having the Jeep for you?
Well, we went to Colorado, and I don't remember where we stayed anymore, but it was on the other side of the mountain from Leadville, and they had the pass over through the mountains. And they're like, oh, if you had a Jeep, you could have taken that, but her little car would not go through that. So that was kind of what got it going for us, because that was my first time to Colorado, and now I want to go back and do some trails. I'm not into the big rock crawling like you are. I want the medium stuff. So
it'd be fair to say more of like an overlanding type of thing. Do you like to camp and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you just hit the cash register button right there. Buddy.
Yeah. So
you got to get a dual battery system, a
Roof
fridge,
tent,
a rooftop.
ladder,
Yeah.
fridge,
Well,
generator.
and I've gone back and forth on the rooftop tent.
I bought a tent.
That's what I have. I have the ground tent, sets up really fast.
Yeah.
I like putting my soft top on, and I don't like having any weight
right.
up on the top of the Jeep. So I know there's a lot of people that use them, and I think if we didn't have dogs that we took with us, maybe it would be a little bit more feasible. And there's, some places you camp, it's a safety issue. You want to be up off the ground.
Yeah,
and
but
all
I
that
mean,
stuff,
here's the thing.
but
I'd rather just get eaten by the grizzly bear on the ground than drug off the top of my Jeep and then eaten. Because the grizzly bear's getting to the top of your Jeep.
how do you figure? You got a 4-inch lift with 38s on it.
Yeah, and the top of my Jeep is like 6 foot.
Well,
6.5 foot.
Just roll to the other
And
side.
grizzly bears are like 15 feet.
They're not 15 feet tall. What?
They're at least 10.
No.
You can fact check yourself. I don't think they're that tall. I don't think they can get you in a rooftop tent.
You're not going to Alaska, are you?
That's not right.
I think Alaska would be a great trip.
8 feet.
That would be fun.
8 feet.
8 feet. We're dead.
That's how tall their head is. That's not how far they can reach.
Their mouth will fuck you up.
If you lean over the side of the Jeep and say, "Here, come eat me," I think you'll be okay.
Well, of course I'm going to antagonize it. I'm not just going to stay in my tent.
Carry a gun.
I have that too.
Yeah. I've seen his guns. Better throwing a sandwich at
I
it.
have changed my lifestyle.
Really?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Because I can't tell.
Yes.
You're still riding your motorcycle in February. You're
Uh-huh.
still showing up late to everything. Seems like it's like par for the course, business as usual.
But my guns are cleaner.
I don't believe it.
Okay, well, come look at them.
Okay.
I've changed.
He said that super quiet. It's all good, man. I'm just giving you shit.
Seen the campaign with Will Ferrell?
Uh-huh.
I fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah, I've learned.
Okay. All right. So
Safe-
You should keep dirty guns.
Huh?
Oh, dude.
I had 2 dirty guns. That was it.
Go out and take your drag link off and just grab all the grease out of it. That's what the
I
inside
had
of his gun looked like
2 dirty guns, 1 time. That was it.
for 25 years.
No. So you fell in love with Colorado.
I did. It was awesome. I'm ready to go back.
I told him all about the trails around Uray, and I think the Alpine Loop would be super easy.
Yeah. We're doing 10 days in July.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
Who's we?
Well, me and Rachel and whoever else wants to go.
When in July?
I think we're leaving July 9th.
Damn it. Well,
The 9th to the 19th. And then we got the Rubicon trip I was trying to get him in on.
when is that?
It hasn't officially been decided. So I will decide that in the next couple days and send out an email. Or not an email, but a text.
I'm running out of vacation days.
Yeah, and you don't have your ace in the hole anymore.
No. I lost my ace in the hole.
Yep. So, but
I've
yeah.
got a Joker, and that Joker's fun.
Yeah. Yep. So
I lost my chief that happened to be in the Jeep Club with us that happened to get me every day I needed off that he was going on. I didn't ask questions. I just was appreciative.
So, yeah, those are the two big. I mean, the biggest thing with the Rubicon trip is just logistics.
Right.
Of it's so far away. It's a 2-day trip just to get there.
I'm buying a new trailer.
Okay. It's still 2 days to get
I
there.
know, but I'm buying a 40-footer so we can haul 2 Jeeps.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Is it going to be enclosed?
No. Because
Mm-hmm.
well, that's what I wanted was
Mhm.
enclosed, but all the enclosed are 85 inches. Would you like to guess wide? 85 inches wide.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work.
Well, it would before I got those Mickey Thompsons. Now I set it 86 inches.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Get some
So-
tires and look like a monster truck when they're hauling them around.
Oh, yeah, I could just get like little stock wheels. Just-
Yeah, but then where are you going to put your 5 tires at?
the one tire just stays on the back,
Yeah.
and then I just stack the other ones in the trailer.
Okay. But what about for the other Jeep? So that's 8 tires.
Your Jeep will fit. Your Jeep would fit. You have 12 and a halves.
Yeah.
I have 14s.
Why?
Because they were cool and insurance paid for them.
I heard the story.
Yeah. Okay. So you had to change your wheels too?
No,
No, they fit on your wheels?
I found my wheels.
What wheels are you running?
The Black Rhinos, the beadlocks.
17 by 9? Or 17 by...
17 by...
Bye.
I forgot.
Bye.
not 17 by 9 for sure.
No.
Because 12 and a half, I think, that's the biggest those will go.
Whatever Opie's are, because he's running 13 and a halves. I'll look tomorrow.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So, yeah. I mean, you can go down the rabbit hole
Oh, yeah.
with modifications and stuff like that.
Guess
And-
what else I learned? Guess what bolts up right to the stock transmission for a 2012 to 2019 JK?
What is that?
5.7.
Okay.
Don't have to swap the transmission.
Okay.
Guess how much 5.7s are? Like $2,500.
Mm-hmm. How much are the axles and the drive shafts that you're going to have to change?
I'm already good there.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Don't ruin this for me.
You're not running a Dana 60 in the back. You don't have a Hard Rock 44 in the front, which if you're going to run a 5.7, you want a 60 in the front too.
Why are you running this for me?
I'm just trying to be the voice of reason.
My front
like
axle
whenever I
is-
told you don't ride your motorcycle in February.
You told me that after.
I told you that before.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
When did you tell me?
When you first got a bike.
I've been drunk since then. I mean, that front axle's pretty well built now. Yeah, huh? Spent a lot of money on that some bitch.
Not for a 5.7, it's not.
Why you gotta ruin things?
Dude, it's just, I'm not ruining anything.
You ruined it.
I'm just,
Ruined it.
I'm pointing out the flaws in your plan.
Did you bring an umbrella for this fucking parade that's being rained on?
Okay, fine. It's a great idea, James.
you.
Would you like me to do that?
No,
It's a
I think
great
I'm gonna
idea.
hold. I think I'm gonna hold off till I get tons. But thanks for
Why?
the input.
Why?
Just
It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. You're going to run almost 40-inch tires on stock size axles with a 5.7.
it's a Dana 44 that's trussed with upgraded with chromoly axle shafts.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine-ish.
Did you upgrade the U-joints too?
Uh-huh.
So then for sure your axles are going to fail instead of the U-joint.
I fucking hate you. I hate you. Just go trade your Jeep in and get a truck. Save yourself a lot of heartache. It's not
I'm
too
not going to
late.
deck mine out like yours. I don't have the pocketbook for it.
So are you planning on long off-road trips?
I'd
Or-
like to. I mean,
So
like
have
I
you
said-
looked into fridges and dual battery setup and all that stuff? Or
No.
no?
I've had this thing 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you're still
He did upgrade his steering
really
stabilizer, though.
Virgin.
yeah.
He did upgrade his steering stabilizer. I said, "You do that right now," and he said, "Okay."
We were talking about
I haven't
that.
put it on yet. So I
Even though I told him to get a dual, and he went with a single. But it's okay. It's okay.
You know my feelings on the dual.
I'm running a single now because I can't run a dual.
Yeah.
You don't like the dual, or you do?
I don't. The reason why is the dual can mask a lot of issues,
Ball joints.
ball joint issues and tie rod issues. So, I mean, it's great in the short term. In the long term, because you start running bigger tires, you start having, hub issues and ball joint issues and all that stuff. They just wear out a little bit faster. That's all it is. If you have that dual stabilizer on there, it can mask them until they get really bad.
Gotcha.
Instead of catching it early where it's just the ball joint and it hasn't wrecked your other stuff.
All right.
So, yeah, I personally will never run a dual steering stabilizer, but
Okay.
that's just. And let's clarify that this is all personal opinion.
Yeah.
Everything that we're talking about is personal opinion. None of us are freaking experts by any stretch of the imagination.
I'll tell you this. I ran a dual steering stabilizer, and it masked everything, including my steering gearbox going out. So,
Yeah.
they work.
Yeah. Yeah. But it ends up, if you hadn't had it on there, your gearbox might not have went out.
Yeah. So, I mean, now a whole front end later,
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad.
Yeah. So, which I've already changed mine. I changed the tie rod, drag link, all that stuff. Upgraded all of that stuff. So, and if you're going to be doing, long trips, off-road, you want to be able to trust those parts.
Right.
So, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
I'm not saying run out and drop 40 grand and build it into a monster, especially since you're not going to be doing a whole bunch of the hard stuff and hitting stuff real fast. I mean, the stock stuff will last. Like I told you, I got 120,000 miles on my Jeep, and I didn't replace any of that stuff until probably 10,000 miles ago.
Okay.
I got 60,000 and ain't shit lasted on that thing.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the. Yeah, we'll just.
Have you done your hubs yet?
That all got done last year.
Yeah.
I've literally in the last year, 12 calendar months, literally 2 days ago, because it popped up on my timeline. As of 2 days ago, so in the last 367 days, I have had my Jeep all of January and 1 week in July. That's it. But she's pretty.
She is pretty.
I mean, so there's trailer queens. Those are the Jeeps that people haul from, the house to I'm getting to him.
Oh.
So we have trailer queens. Those are the ones that people haul from, their house to the trail and do the trails. Then you have the mall crawlers that they never go off road. They got all of the, the winch and the big tires on 20s or 22s or whatever. But they're pavement princesses. Well, then you got the shop queens. That's what his is.
But she wears that tiara nicely. Let me tell you. I think everything that can be replaced has been replaced.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only thing original on that thing, I think, is the frame and the body.
And the motor.
Else, yeah. Everything else has been gone through and redone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in theory, that Jeep, you shouldn't have any problems with that Jeep for years to come.
So, a couple months.
Yeah. First time you take it off road.
Fuck. I'm telling you, I think
Better be done by the 26th.
it will be. When we go to Moab.
I think you'd really need to rethink going on the 26th. Because if you go on the 26th, you might not make Moab.
Why did you have to put that in the air? Dude, I'm telling you, when we go to like Pritchett Canyon, I'm just riding along the top of the canyon watching everybody else. I'm not taking my man. You guys doing a ride down there? All right, cool. Oh, that looks bad. I'm gonna do fins and things, and fins and things, and the little strip up and down the main street. I'm gonna do that and fins and things, and we're gonna call it good. That's a 2 out of 10 trail.
Not gonna attempt Metal Masher or any of the hot tubs or
fins and things.
Fins and things.
Fins and things.
Okay.
And maybe Elephant Hill.
Yeah, I want to do that one.
I might pull into the parking lot of Poison Spider. That's about it.
So these are all trails in Moab.
There's like 10 of them. They're all Badge of Honor trails. If you're ever wondering why my bumper, not why it's caved in, that's from a tree. If you're ever wondering why the bumper sits like this, it's because there's like this 4-foot drop at Poison Spider. And apparently it's just not made for 4-doors because I just ripped.
How is Poison Spider a Badge of Honor trail?
I don't know.
Because the stipulations for Badge of Honor trail is it has to be able to be done with a stock Jeep.
You can do a stock Jeep.
Without taking damage? Because that's the stipulation.
Who said anything about damage?
That's the stipulation, dude.
Did you ever see the original Rubicons they did the Rubicon trail in?
Mm-hmm. Then you can do that trail in a stock Jeep without taking damage.
The bypasses.
Still the trail.
The 1 to 10, the 1 you can do in the stock Jeep.
Yeah. Still the trail.
Well, I mean, you can.
A lot of those obstacles are optional and weren't part of the original trail.
Yeah, you can do Poison Spider in a 2-door fine. Or you can do Poison Spider in a 4-door with a spotter that doesn't have boobs, because that's what fucked me up. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2022.
Men have boobs now.
Eyes are up here, asshole. All right.
Hey, I'm just saying. It's 2022.
Men can have babies now. God, I'm gonna get back to you on the 20th. I might. I'll probably take my Jeep down there. I'll bring it down. I just don't know if I'll take it off the trailer.
Just don't do the hard trails. Because I'm not doing the hard trails.
See, here's the thing. Moran has this issue called ego.
That's what I was say. It's called an ego.
And he can't. It's something I've noticed about you. Can't just kind of go and just.
No, if you're doing it, I'm doing it.
Yeah. So if
But
anybody,
I don't think any of us that are going are going to be doing those hard ones.
well, then he'll instigate doing it.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm fucking my Jeep up, I'm fucking everybody's Jeeps up.
Yeah. But see, you have the option of not fucking your shit up. You don't have to break it every time you go out.
It's so hard not to, though. I don't want to. It's just hard not to.
No, it's really easy.
Oh, wait. You know what's funny, though?
Mm-hmm.
It's when I'm in groups is when I break it. When I'm by myself, I don't break it.
Mm-hmm. It's because you're showing out. That's exactly what it is.
No, it's when Wallace was with me, I didn't show out.
It's because your grandpa was with you.
Yeah, and it broke twice.
You still need to go, though.
I am 0 for 2 with him.
Because worst case scenario, you just ride with me.
Yeah, so my Jeep will go. Just might stay on the trailer.
Why don't you drive it there? Why not? Why do you?
Yeah, you're not going to drive it on the trail, so...
No, I'll drive my Jeep on the trail. I'm not driving my Jeep. No.
Why?
Those tires. I'm not wearing through those tires. I'm not buying. I like those tires. I want those tires, and I'm not purchasing.
Won't cover that.
You realize
I'm not purchasing those tires.
Let me explain something to you. If you don't break those tires in, they're going to be shit when you get to Moab.
I know.
So you probably should drive it.
I broke them in. I made it 3 days in South Dakota before the training went out.
That's not broke in.
Ish. I don't want to listen to him that long.
Mm-hmm.
And B, when I break it,
Mm-hmm.
how am I getting home?
Don't break it.
Trailer.
Okay? If you break it, you're not going to Moab.
Easy trails, you said? Okay.
That's why I want you to go. So you'll be like, yeah, don't do that shit.
That's not going to be the words that come out of his mouth,
I'm
Scott. If
hoping
you-
it is.
Thank you.
Because you know what? He's going to have to answer to Jana if he lets me do that stupid shit. She's a redhead. You don't want to piss her off.
I've seen her mad. Fuck. I don't appreciate being manipulated like that.
Hey, it's getting pulled in two directions.
It's going to be like that
fine.
scene in The Hangover, like, we fucked up.
I'm at work. I ain't coming to get you.
We lost Phil. Who's Phil? I don't know, but we lost him. And then a Jeep broke, but that's not important.
Yeah. How are you getting home? Uber.
You know what I like about K-Rocks, though? Is they have, like, the high-pressure air fills there. You can air your tires up in, like, 20 seconds.
It must be an upgrade from the last time I was there.
Yeah, it's real nice.
That's going to be my next thing. We'll be putting the ARB dual compressor on mine.
Were you do you remember when we came off of, I forgot what it was, when my little Harbor Freight compressor shot out in Colorado?
Yes.
So it's just sitting on my butt. Things worked like a charm, except it gets like 1,000 degrees. And so it's just sitting on my bumper and it's just airing up my tire. And all of a sudden it looked like a transformer exploded. It's just like boom, and sparks go everywhere, and it's like, nah. I was like,
Yeah. So you didn't make the trip to Texas with us. So my Smitty-built compressor basically did almost the same thing, except it's got an inline fuse, and the fuse went poof, and a little thing of smoke came out, and it just stopped. And I looked over at Chris because he was with me, and I'm like, "Why'd you turn it off?" He goes, "Well, I was moving it from one tire to the next, so I turned it off to move it." And I was like, "I never do that." So I'm like trying to turn it back on. Then I'm looking and the cord's real hot. So I open up the little fuse protector thing, and it looked like somebody had just like melted Jello into this thing. And I mean, yeah, dude, it was bad. So completely done. Couldn't get it out. Compressor was just ruined.
I think before Moab I'm gonna get CO2.
I still don't. I mean, I get it. It
I
airs
get
them up fast.
30 to
and
40 fills for the 10-pound bottle.
I would still just rather have an air compressor.
Well, I do. I have that. I've got the dual tank rigid one but I was saving that one for air tools. But nobody ever bought any air tools, and I don't want to buy air tools.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might just. Use
Well,
it
and
for
where are you
tires.
going to mount that thing in your Jeep anyway? It's huge.
In the back?
Yeah, but you can't put anything around it.
Yeah, I can. So my 2 tool chests that I had, I'm just gonna put those. I think I'm gonna take out the back seat or just permanently lay it down.
The thing's going to get super hot.
Yeah.
You
So
figure out how to wire it in?
It's done. That's
Yeah.
done. That was part of the shop.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with the ARB dual compressor. And then Bart had one. He's got his mounted up on the back roll bar by his fridge.
The only reason I thought about the CO2, having seen it and how fast it fills them,
Yeah.
is because like I'm going from 5 psi.
Yeah. And I get that, but I've also seen that CO2 hose shoot off and almost smack people in the face.
Well, that's what I'm going to pay somebody else to do. Like, hey, you, real quick, $5, air up my tires. I'll be over here, just watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it for speed and all that stuff. It's great, but my thing is we're at the point where we're airing up. We're going home for the day, or we're driving for however long. If it takes me 15 minutes to air up, 20 minutes. Fuck
But
it.
the other thing too, I'm not against, like, especially with the trailer, just fucking loading it and airing it up when I get back
Yeah.
with a better compressor.
Well, so for the Rubicon, my understanding, where we will be parking to park the truck and leave it and then unload and do the trail, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours to drive back all the way around to pick that stuff up.
Damn.
So it's not something that I would drive on pavement.
No, but
with
like
air down
at K-Rocks
tires.
is just you pull back in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to an off-road park, then sure. But if you're doing like the stuff that I've been doing lately, the more overlanding stuff, you're going to drive on the highway for a while to get wherever you're going, and then air down, and you'll be aired down for 3-4 days
Yeah.
before you hit pavement again, and then you air up and come home.
You should do the Rubicon Trail with us.
Absolutely should.
Maybe.
You should.
That'd be fun.
Should do Moab. Just call in sick.
Yeah.
I got the Rhoda.
I only got 5 days of vacation left for this year,
No shit.
so it's already scheduled.
Yeah, he's not going to make the Rubicon.
No.
Joys of a wedding.
You could get married on the Rubicon.
Yeah.
I'll let you break that to her.
He's going to send the text right now. Your phone is going to blow up,
Yeah.
and this podcast will be over. And you won't be allowed to hang out with us anymore.
Wedding is canceled. Scott is going on the Rubicon with us. Please refer any questions
To Jeremy.
Whoa!
to anyone.
Throwing me
but
under the bus like that?
me. So please refer any questions to anyone but me.
Oh, there you go.
Mostly Scott.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, next time that I plan a trip down to Arkansas, I'll shoot you a text
Yeah,
message
that'd be fun.
because I think you would enjoy that. It's not, the trails down there, not super hard. So, a lot of water crossings.
Right.
So, but
Yeah, I'm just trying to be a sponge right now.
and so
New phone. Who did?
basically what it boils down to, Scott, is all of it's personal preference and what you're going to be using the Jeep for.
Right.
So, and you'll figure all that stuff out as you go along. There's a ton of different websites, and that's the thing that I would encourage you to do is whenever you're looking at, okay, I want to get this part or I want to do this. What do I need to do that?
Right.
And then shop around. You can find stuff. Don't get really enamored of name brands because a lot of the
Dude, that's what I run a lot of rough country, and I'm really happy. I'm fucking fine with it.
I mean, I've got Rough Country Springs on mine, and they're doing okay. So there was Rough Country Springs on before, and they were crap. They wore out super fast and almost caused me to wreck the Jeep. But the new ones are holding up, so we'll see. So, and the skid plates that we put on his were heavy duty.
Yeah, I don't. And truthfully, the rough country skid plates are thicker than that Moore one. If we're like just talking about thickness,
I don't know about that.
I know because I just had them all off. I was looking at them.
Maybe.
If we're going to talk about weld quality or whatever else, that's a different discussion. But thickness, rough country.
Yeah. So let's move on to the other part of the conversation.
Yes.
Why do we spend so much time and money on hobbies
Because I hate people.
that cause us to work insane amounts of overtime?
Hating people. I work so much around people I hate so I can go spend time not around them.
Yeah. Kind of
So-
seems like,
Instead of just like a happy medium,
yeah.
it's all or nothing.
Yeah. Why is it all or nothing?
I don't know. I don't think I have a
A half speed.
half speed.
It's just all skinny pedal all the time.
Yep.
Are you like that, Scott? Whenever you get into a hobby, are you floor down?
Not like that. I mean, I grew up on dirt bikes.
Mhm.
So then getting into this, and I'm also an outdoorsman anyways. I like to hunt and fish. So yeah, I mean, I spend money there too, but I don't go crazy. I just got enough to.
I'll tell you when I think it started for me
Mhm.
was probably college. And like in high school, I played 3 sports, Like, I just did different things.
Mm-hmm.
In college, it's like, this is your job. This is what you do. This is your life. And I got into that routine of, like, this is what I'm doing. It gets my all, right? Even, like, for football, it's, yeah, we had a season. The season made up a third of our time because you have summer workouts twice a day. You have spring.
Same as basketball.
Yeah, so, like, it's college athletics. Like, you have the off season, you have the summer.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know an off switch. It was just go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took my EMT my freshman year of college, and just the dedication that's like with any, like whether it be the academy or whatever, it's just it requires intense focus and dedication. So I'm like, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was work, 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 football, football, football. And then I left college, and it was like, oh, better find the same thing. Better find something just as addicting, just as something to fill my time to this level of intensity that it was in college. And it was, then the fire service, I'm like, do. Because, again, it's one of those jobs, it's like, it does take a lot out of you physically, mentally. There's a pretty significant amount of dedication to do the job the right way. I'm not saying superhero or anything like that or above and beyond, but just to do it the way it should be done, it does take a significant amount of dedication compared to other jobs.
Well, and then there's also the pressure to kind of go above and beyond with the culture of having that extra interaction.
And so I guess you could kind of almost equate it to like an alcoholic that stops drinking but then spends every day in the gym. The addiction and the addictive behavior is still there. One just societal norms say is better than the other. And can be still just as destructive. Mm-hmm. We just tend to glorify in-shape people more than drunks. So that's kind of how it's been with me. Like, I mean, you've been here with this journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
From the very first time I got a Jeep to the very first time you took me out on the trail to where I am now. Mm-hmm. $60,000 later. Mm-hmm. Same with my bike. You were with me for my first bike. Compared to the shit I have now, like, can't just...
Yeah. It's... You go to the extreme.
Yep.
And, dude, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting nice stuff and wanting to upgrade and all that stuff. But there's also nothing wrong with rolling with what you got for a little while. Figuring it out. To me, it's almost like the reason I wanted KCF deep. Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why I wanted the department I worked at compared to others. I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing it the best. Like,
yeah, you want to be at the gold standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and you and I have had this conversation, so welcome a little bit of the inside of my life, is like, I don't know anything other than, like, we are doing it here. Not perfection necessarily. Like, I'm well aware enough to know perfection is very hard to achieve. But we're going to operate at a very high and functional level.
Mm-hmm. Until you don't.
Until I don't. But the problem is, like, when you take in the fire department and then the shop I work at and then my Jeep and my bike and taking care of my grandpa and then the dogs and then union committees, running at 100%,
motorcycle groups.
Yeah, running at, 90 miles an hour the whole time. It's when I get in days like today where I'm just like, fuck it. Mm-hmm. And I'm snapping on people. And cause when I'm operating this fast, at such a high level all the time, one thing goes wrong and the day just goes to shit.
Mm-hmm. Something's going to give at some point.
But for me sitting on the outside, I don't see it that way.
Because I do a fantastic job of hiding it.
Your bike, your Jeep, your dogs, that's your out. You guys are always talking about mental wellness, right? Mm-hmm. That's just keeping you sane.
To a certain extent.
And I'm going to surprisingly agree with Jeremy on this. You are correct. But I borderline.
I would say, and I'm going to be 100%.
On unhealthy addiction with it.
Yes. And it's not borderline. It's unhealthy. We've had the conversation. I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you.
But I was honest first, so fuck you.
Yeah. It's too much. Like one of those things, yeah, that's a healthy out. But you can't stack all of that stuff. It's like what he was talking about, the addiction aspect of it. It's the constantly being busy. That doesn't mean that you're working on yourself and you're relaxed and you're having a good time. It's, okay, I have to go here to have a good time, but I only have this much time to be there. And then I have to go to this other thing that's a good time. And then this other thing, and then this other thing. And then before you know it, it's, well, he's running 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, an hour late. So it becomes less of a good time and more of a stressor. And then on top of that, you talk about the money that you're spending with all these different hobbies. So now, okay, well, instead of just working my regular shift or an overtime day, once a week or once a month, well, now I'm going to work 4 and 5 days in a row on the regular. So now he's at the station, not getting sleep. And it's a cycle.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So, since we're having this intervention, welcome, Scott.
Well, I said we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Did I talk about it?
So, what's your plan, man, going forward?
I don't know.
What are you going to do?
I don't see a good out because I'm not selling them. Selling them is the good out. Let's be honest. And I know it's the good out because once I sold the 450, I feel great, not stressing about it.
So,
I had a show truck too.
If you're going in the extreme again, yeah, sell it all. Don't do any of it. Well, then what are you going to do? So you're not going to be happy that way, and that doesn't solve the problem. That's just avoidance.
No,
that's all that is.
I've been feeling more and more like an addict lately because I just telling myself, I only have a couple more things to do, then I'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
I have only a couple more things to do to this, then I'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm tired of that, and I get a new project.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on that Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And what's one of the first things I talked about on the show here today? Engine swap,
Mm-hmm.
done right, 10 grand. Axle swap, done right, 20 grand.
Mm-hmm. And you won't drive it on the street.
And I won't drive it on the street.
So then that means it is a 100% toy, and you got to buy a new trailer to haul it. Mm-hmm. So that's another however many thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And you're going to use it once a year, maybe?
Yep. And then the bike. Well, we've talked numbers. I'll tell you numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it for 26. I put another 10 into it
Mm-hmm.
in a year. Or shit that it didn't need.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'll cut you some slack on the bike thing because that's normal. I mean, anybody pretty much that buys a motorcycle, you're immediately going to drop some cash on it. I've done it myself. I did it with the bike sitting up there right now. I put money into that Jeep. However, I have a hard line of I'm not going to spend any more, or I'm only going to spend on what I need. And it's not, I don't need an axle swap. I don't need to do all these big extravagant things. Do I want this part or that part? Yeah, and I'll get around to it. But it's not, I don't have to do it right now. Like right now. And I'm not doing both at the same time. I didn't start on any Jeep or any project like that until I was done with that bike. And I think for me personally, I learned my lesson on the last bike that I had because I dropped so much money on it. And then
You could say you learned your lesson with patches too.
yeah, I mean, that's just part of having an
I've went a long time without a patches comment. Let's recognize that. It's been some months.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, with that Jeep, it was a 95 YJ, dude.
Patches was a beautiful soul.
You're going to drop money into it.
Like the ugly puppy that is so ugly, it's cute.
Right.
And like Went's ugliest puppy of the year, and you're like, oh, it's so cute. Patches.
Yeah. However, the amount of money that I spent on that Jeep, nowhere close.
To what I 95.
Yeah, because it's a 95. The parts are cheap. I mean, parts were dirt cheap. And it needed some fixing. I didn't do anything to that Jeep that didn't absolutely have to be done.
I think something for me, and I'll caution you on this, just like as a friend for conversation that just happens to be recorded, I guess. What was addicting for me about both the Jeep and the bike were like, God damn it. Now that I think about it, it really was like a fucking drug. Because, you guys have seen pictures of it. Like, I'd see the most beautiful things. You get the coolest experiences. Like, you just can't beat unless you're on a bike or in a Jeep. And, like, I just moth to a flame.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally no different than heroin.
Yeah.
Like the shit you'll scrounge and do just to get that high.
Again, so what's the out?
I don't know. Do they make a Jeep rehab? What's that like? Do they send you somewhere and make you drive a Bronco? Or a fucking Toyota?
Probably an FJ.
Oh, God. Suicide's better.
A Jeep Power Wheel.
Oh, yes. That's even better. No, I mean,
pink Jeep.
Do you want
Power
my
Wheel.
opinion? As your friend, do you want my opinion?
Don't say the F word. We're not the F word.
Oh, we're not the F word? All right.
I told Jeremy's being a shitty friend today.
Apparently somebody doesn't understand fucking sarcasm.
You don't understand sarcasm.
You don't understand sarcasm.
What's your advice,
Did
pal?
you really think that I was being serious telling you to
pissed.
leave the bike in the middle of the road?
I was so pissed. I was so fucking
That's your thing with inflecting whatever on a text message.
Yeah, it's a text message. It's not my
Yeah.
fault. Nothing today was my fault.
Okay, that's part of your problem. This is all your fault. What you need to do is stop. Stop with the upgrades. You need to cut back on some shit.
I will say, I feel like I'm in a place with the bike that I'm happy, right?
Okay.
Got speakers, got the exhaust, got the stage tree. Like, I'm good. No, I don't really want
Okay.
anything else.
For how long?
For a while. I love my paint. I love the pinstriping.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love my stereo.
So you want me to tell you what's going to happen to your bike if you keep riding it with salt on the road?
No. I don't want you to tell me that.
I'm going to tell you it
Because
anyway.
it sounds expensive.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be. You're going to be replacing a majority of those parts within 2 years.
You're a fucking asshole.
I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Just let me have one nice thing. You're literally
I'm trying to.
This is what you said.
I'm trying to
This is
keep
what
you
said.
having nice things.
Here's what
You're
you
not
said.
going to have a nice thing
You
in 2
said,
years.
you know what you need to do? Stop. And I said, yeah, I'm actually at a place where I can stop. You're like, nope, you're going to spend more money. Thanks. You're the worst addiction counselor ever.
I'm just being honest with you. That's the reality of it.
Well, you know what? Maybe if I had my Jeep
Yeah.
to drive around with salt on the road with the
Yeah.
top off.
But you won't drive it.
I can't. I literally can't.
If you had it, you wouldn't drive it.
Oh, yeah, I drive around town.
But you wouldn't drive it 2 hours to go off-road.
Nope.
There's no difference.
Yeah, there is a difference. If I'm on the highway, I want to do 80.
Again, that's where self-restraint comes in.
Mm-hmm. Baby steps here. There's also nothing wrong with towing the Jeep.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. In your case, I think it's a bad idea. I think if you would make yourself drive it to and from the trail, you'd be less likely to break it.
I agree with him on that one.
Who the fuck invited me?
And I'm just the new guy.
I'm just being honest with you, buddy.
No, what's make me not going to break it is Moab to a week later.
I don't think that would even cross your mind.
It wasn't going to until now. Yeah, I just went down there and broke it and been like, shit.
Yeah. So by what I'm meaning whenever I say you need to cut back, you need to cut back on all of the stuff you're doing that's like the right now stuff that you got to do right now.
You know, so we have what we call labor management in our fire department. So it makes up administration, our chiefs union, and our firefighters union. So we have different committees and whatnot. And I told myself in my addiction thinking here that, like, I never wanted to be the one at the kitchen table of the firehouse bitching about something without saying I did something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what you know about the labor management process, but watching paint dry is approximately 100 times faster than this process. And it really makes you want to beat your fucking head on a wall. Like, because you'll be like, why did this person do this? Why does this group think this? This is stupid. Like, it's just the way we do it. And I would sign up for, God, double-digit committees. You know, I have 6 committees and 6 or 7 project groups. And it every damn day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, there's something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
No, dude, I've seen your calendar. I think, honestly, that's one of the things you need to take a step back from.
Like, every day.
Too many irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been telling him that for a year. Or longer.
I thought the episode about me was the second episode. Not
Well,
episode 55.
You, like always, made this episode about you.
No, I made this episode about Scott, and it somehow got turned to me.
Well,
Let me help you solve your problem then.
Yes.
On the 26th. Go with us on the 26th and follow us. Don't lead, follow. And enjoy the time down there with a couple guys.
I can do that.
Don't do the crazy stuff.
Just don't let me lead. That's right.
Go have fun.
We're not going to stop smoking on day one.
mm-hmm.
We're just going to reduce the amount of cigarettes we smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow.
Okay.
And
And if you don't, I'm telling Jeremy
And I'll even do you one better. If I say, hey, let's try this, you're going to say,
hell no.
okay. And then if I say, hey, I
You
think you could
already-
do that, you're going to say, fuck off. And I'm just going to be like, okay. And eventually you're going to tell me to fuck off about 9 or 10 times. And I'm going to get it. And I'm just going to leave and do my own thing.
Because you got to remember, I got to drive my Jeep home.
True. Or if you break it, I'll trailer home and you get to drive mine home at approximately 50 miles per hour the whole way.
Yeah, I don't do 50. I'm like you. I do 80.
Thank you. Yeah. You can do 80 in my Jeep, but it's going to sound like a bomb is about to explode for 2 straight hours.
Why?
Actually, I did fix that. I put a super chip in it.
I just flashed mine today.
More money.
You should have freaking got the reprogrammer, dude.
I got a programmer. I got to put a super chip in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Ish. I can do 70. Baby steps. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what else I found out?
What's that?
This was gonna piss you off, but I'm gonna tell you because we're friends and I'm being open and honest.
Okay.
Especially towards like the end of riding season when I was riding consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to use my bike as a release, even if it was for a half hour or an hour, just get out and ride for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The more and more I would do, like if I did like 3 or 4 days in a row and I'd go out and ride, I had been, and still sometimes am much more aggressive when I ride than after just working like a day.
Yeah. It's understandable. I mean, there's a certain level of...
To the point that it's not enjoyable because I'm just cussing out cars and weaving in and out of traffic.
Yeah. So that tells me that the motorcycle riding for you is not really a relaxing thing or an enjoyment thing.
It is.
It's not.
It is like a third of the time. A third of the time.
So you want to be happy a third of the time?
A third of the time it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
A third of the time I'm forcing myself to do it because I think I need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And a third of the time I'm angry.
Okay. So, like I said, you want to be happy a third of the time and be miserable 2/3 of the time.
Like even when I went to Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was excited. I was like, this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
the ride through Arizona was beautiful, but then like the ride through Mexico, I was just pissed off the whole time because the roads were shitty. You know, like
Yeah.
we're literally riding down the fucking coastline, and I'm mad.
Mm-hmm.
And it set the precedent for the whole week.
Yeah. So that's. Yeah, dude.
I'm being honest with you.
I know.
I thought this was the circle of trust.
It is. I'm being honest with you.
You got that quote, right?
Yes.
What's it from?
It's from the Robert De Niro movie.
No, it's from Old School. Where Will Ferrell is talking about picturing the waitress's panties. The counselor.
Yeah,
and the counselor and
I
his
was
wife.
thinking it was the
Circle of Trust Fokker.
yes, the Fockers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Where Will Ferrell and his wife are in the counselor's office. And he's describing what he thought the waitress's panties would be. And they look at him and say, "What? I thought we were in the circle, the nest of trust." And they're like, "No, go ahead."
Yeah. Anyway, so what I would say to that, and again, kind of an expert, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express like 2 weeks ago.
I have a podcast, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, it's not something that you're going to jump on your bike and be happy every single time. It's not the stress release that you got it for. Because it sounds to me what you're saying is a majority of the time that you're on it, you're not happy.
I don't. Maybe a thirds are too big. It just seems like the negatives outweigh
the positives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so today was my get back on the saddle after wrecking and see how I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, these stupid fucking people are not paying the fuck attention. And I just was like, and you know how I know whether I'm relaxed or not? How fast my hands go numb.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I can tell. If I'm relaxed, I'll go an hour before I even feel a tingle in them. If I'm pissed off, 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's directly related to how hard you are squeezing on the handlebars.
Yep.
And how much you're squeezing your shoulders up because you're tense.
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's perfectly natural since you just laid it over, a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be tense the first couple times you get on it. But that brings me back to my other point. You know that I don't ride this time of year. Nelson doesn't ride this time of year. It's not safe.
I got bigger balls. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
No, dude, I'm telling you this from somebody that's ridden motorcycles for a majority of their life. Especially in our area with having salt on the road and all that stuff. My bike is not leaving that garage until April.
But it's so nice.
And that's
today.
even
It's
that's
so
dependent.
nice. It's 65 degrees.
It's dependent on having a good rain and washing all that crap off the road.
Dadey said the same thing. You guys are all full of shit.
Get your Jeep back. Take the top off.
Yeah.
See, this whole thing could have been avoided
Yeah.
if Chrysler made a worth of shit transmission.
Or you didn't fuck it up.
I didn't.
Nothing. You had no responsibility.
Dear Lord, this man is testing my nerve.
So you take no responsibility for that transmission going out.
None.
At what did it have on it? 50,000 miles?
Yes.
That doesn't happen
Unless it's a Chrysler.
unless
It's a Chrysler.
let's go down this road. Come on. Unless
It's a Chrysler. Should we pull up the reviews on the 68 RFE? It's a shit transmission in the trucks.
I was gonna say we have the same Jeep.
Yeah.
At twice as many miles.
Yeah, if you think transmission, you're not thinking, oh, Chrysler. Yeah, totally. No, you don't think that.
What, you thinking Peugeot?
No, I'm thinking Allison.
Okay, so
I'm thinking anybody but Chrysler, quite frankly.
I'm just saying.
Even though they did make a really pretty good transmission for the JKs, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how I fucked it up, Jeremy. I don't know how. What do you want me to say? I wasn't hot rodding it.
Could it have been a lot of the stuff that you did to it?
No.
No. Couldn't have been the bigger tires. the added weight,
Mm-mm.
the lift.
No.
No?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
None of that stuff.
Mm-mm. I don't know. It's weird.
It's crazy how that shit happens, ain't it? It's like, I don't know what happened. Like, so whenever my hubs went out on mine, like, nothing to do with the fact that it had 20-inch wheels on it, that I'd taken it off road, that it had 100 and something thousand miles on it.
Chrysler hubs.
Chrysler hubs.
I just learned I'm not going to modify my Jeep a lot. That's what I'm taking from tonight.
If I were you, I'd go buy stock tires and put it on it and never fucking take it off road. You know what I've learned? That's what I've learned.
Yours is our. What lift do you have on there?
I know it's a 3.5. I seriously don't know enough about Jeeps to tell you that. So, I mean.
So you got a 3.5-inch lift with 35-inch tires.
Yeah.
On a Dana 30.
Oh, he's got the Sport.
He's got the Sahara.
So the Sahara. Oh, well, you know, you got a nice interior. Yeah. We'll talk afterwards. There's going to be some things you probably should do.
I already told him.
Yeah.
I already told him, 'cause I was like, oh, that's nice. The Rubicon. He's like, oh, it's Sahara. I said,
You know what, though? I'll say this. Now, there is a significant weight difference, but that YJ that I had a Dana 30 in the front end.
I thought it had Dana 35.
35 in the rear.
Oh.
30 in the front. I never worried about that front end. I worried about 35 in the rear more than I worried about that 30. And it was 20-plus-year-old axles.
What's the video of the guy that, like, builds that Dana 30 from hell?
You talking about Dirt Lifestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He built it.
Yeah.
That thing is probably better than my Dana 44.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
With everything that he did, and then the U-joint, like, so this guy, he's an off-road, basically he's a fabricator, but he does off-road videos and stuff, and he does a lot of shop videos of him, you know, building crazy shit. And like, he'll take, like, he's got a Land Rover Discovery that he just built a whole bunch of custom stuff for. But he had a Dana 30 that he was putting in, wasn't it like a friend's Jeep or something like that? And they're like, yeah, we're just going to build this thing up to where it's as strong as a 44. And the dude's smart. Like, I don't know if he's like a legit, like, went to school for it, or if he's just kind of figured it out on his own. But like, he trusts this thing. He put huge ass axles in there, like kind of bigger than what should be, and U-joints. And I mean, knuckles from, I don't even remember what knuckles he put in, but they weren't like the stock knuckles, obviously. And yeah, that thing, it was, whenever he finished it, I would have trusted that thing over any chromoly shafted trussed Dana 44 stock axle that I've seen.
It was disgusting.
Yeah. But I mean, if you know how to weld and you know all that stuff and you know all the math to go along with it, you can do that stuff. And you have a shop with...
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I'm never trusting an axle again.
Dude.
No, it's great, but it was literally like 2 minutes of heating for 10 seconds of welding, and 2 minutes of heating for 10 seconds of welding.
The knock that I've heard on trussing, and it messes with the wall of the tube.
Yeah.
So like, it makes it stronger, but then it also weakens it.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's because it's basically steel to cast iron. So you're literally just sitting there like... like, it's terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
Took
there's...
every bit, I think we totaled up, and it was like 16 hours just for fucking trust those things. I'm terrible.
I personally would never truss an axle, but that's my personal opinion. You do with it what you want. If you want,
you're not running bead lockers with 38s either.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't run beadlock wheels either.
I love it.
I'm sure you do.
That 5 PSI is real nice.
Yeah. I wouldn't lower my tires to 5 PSI either.
It's real nice. I kind of miss those little Iron Mans I had.
My guess is a lot of your transmission issues might have came from that.
I wondered. Because I made it approximately like 50 miles before the transmission went out after all that shit.
Yeah. It's just the transmission's not designed to push that much weight.
Nope.
Because, I mean, you're basically rolling on flat tires. And it's causing a huge strain. I could be wrong about that.
But she's good now. She got some little upgrades. Just a couple. That the warranty company don't need to know about because they ain't watching this podcast.
Yeah, until they do an investigation. Don't worry, we'll buzz your face out. And,
It looks a lot like...
yeah. I don't know. I was talking to a guy that's wanting to start a podcast earlier today, and he was talking about that, about having people on and, you know, having them, if they didn't want to show their face, and having voice modulators and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, I can't help you with that. I have no idea.
Then don't have them on.
Yeah.
Just
So, and that's what I told him. I said, we're pretty much, we have a couple rules, and that's it.
I only broke one of them today.
Hey, I almost
broke it twice last time I was on.
That's
So,
okay. That's what that, you know,
The
pause button and all that stuff is
The
for.
first time I was on here, I literally made it like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, because they're like, hey, don't say where you work, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, tell us about yourself. And I was like, okay, and this is where I work. I'm like,
And I live at this address, and here's my bank account number. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh.
so I guess if anything, I don't want to say like lesson to you, like I'm smarter than you, because that's not the case, but like
No, it's
my caution.
learn from Moran's mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, there's humor behind it, but yeah, because the shit you can do with it is very addicting. It's very euphoric. I mean, truthfully is a word. I think it may be the right word. Like, when you're standing 12,000 feet in the air, seeing some of the most beautiful shit you've ever seen, fuck yeah.
And here would be my cautionary tale. If you're not capable of doing it yourself, pay somebody to do it for you.
See, that's what I don't want to hear, because I want to learn how to do it.
Give me all your money.
Yeah. So there's a
I mean,
lot of
that's-
stuff.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like switching out your rear bumper. You know, we talked about that, or putting on a winch, or, you know,
Hell, even doing your axle shafts. Even.
see, there's some wiggle room there.
I mean, I've learned, though. I'm
Yeah.
Like,
So, but
me
like,
as you, yeah, I was clueless.
yeah. So, but like, if you're gonna swap out your tie rod ends, and then you gotta, you know, the front end alignment and the steering box and all of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've done all that stuff, and then I had to take it somewhere for them to fine tune it and tweak it because I didn't do it exactly right. And some stuff, man, it's easier to pay somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. So, like, for me, like, one of the upgrades that I want to do going forward, and like I said, not anytime soon, but eventually it'll have to be done, is
LS swap.
I want a new front and
LS
rear.
swap.
Stop talking over me before I throw my chook up at you.
It's a bottle and an LS swap.
I'm not doing an LS swap.
Damn it.
Ever. I think those are completely asinine and fucking stupid. And that's my opinion.
Have you yelled at any kids to get off your lawn today?
Not today. Where was that? Oh, front and rear drive shaft. On the surface, doesn't seem like that hard of a swap until you start digging into it. And then it's, I got to replace this seal and this thing and that thing, and there's more to it than just taking a couple bolts out and putting a couple bolts in. Rear bumper, it's literally a couple bolts out and a couple bolts in. The hardest thing is you need somebody there to help you take it off and put it in place so you can put the bolts in. Or you can do what I did whenever I put my new rear bumper on. Use your jack stand to jack it up and get it in place, and then drop it 4 fucking times on your concrete floor. So fuck all the paint up on it before it even goes 1 inch down the road. Because that's what I did last week. Jeeping. Awesome. So
that's all. That's just my caution with it. Which, I mean, you don't seem like you are an addict. like or have addictive style behaviors. And I'll give all the props to Jeremy being a recovering addict and not transitioning that to something like your Jeep or your bike or.
Well, I think part of the credit for that goes to the program I
A
went
wife.
through. And, yeah,
No. Okay.
I'm getting there. And Rachel for holding me accountable to stuff. Now, I'll say, hey, I want to do this for the Jeep or that for the Jeep. And 9 times out of 10, she's like, sure, cool, whatever. But then sometimes she's like, do you really need that? Like, well, no, I really don't. I can wait.
I have something for you guys, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You know those little tents that you see for like tailgates so you can put like a 5-gallon bucket in? It's like a little portable bathroom. I found one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it to you.
Great. Thank you.
What? Think of all the time you'll save not having to walk 5 miles away just to pee.
We just have to get it out and set it up every time.
That's true.
So you're costing yourself more time if you give it to us.
No, it just pops right open.
Yeah, but how hard is it to fold back up?
Bloop. Boop. Bloop.
Is that what you're going to be doing inside the tent?
Huh?
No, I mean,
Poop.
I try to do one nice thing for you.
hey, man, dude, I appreciate it. Rachel will appreciate it, especially
What
when
he hasn't told you is every time we go out, Rachel, who is one of the most educated, strong women I've ever met, is incapable of pissing by herself. Incapable. 10-minute break every time. And Jeremy holds her hand there and holds her hand back.
Mountain lions, dude. Mountain lions. What? Safety first. You're not going to shame me with this.
I'm not. I got you a tent.
Oh. Bloop. What sticker is it going to have on it?
No stickers. It's gray and blue.
Oh.
It's got like, and the top of it's like a little mesh for breathing if you got to take a number 2.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you. That will come in handy in July.
And then there's like a little like flap hole thing on the side, which I don't know what it's for, but stand by. You ready? What fits in there perfectly is the little fan pump for my little inflatable reindeer costume that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just stick it in there and it's battery powered. Now you got a fart fan.
That's taking it to a whole nother level. That's almost glamping.
Thank you, James. No problem.
Oh, I can't wait till you tell her that whenever we go upstairs.
Oh, fuck, she's here.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I'm pretty sure Jana's waiting outside for me right now.
Probably.
I don't think she's even texted me. So she's probably blown up your phone.
She just said, do you want to die? And that's the last thing I heard.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she's waiting outside for me to die.
Hey, bro. I'm going to make sure that I still stay well back from the door whenever you walk through it.
Call 3s for a fluid cleanup after this. There's all the blood in your driveway.
Not in my house.
Take it outside. Kill him outside.
Oh. All right. Well, Scott, do you have anything to add?
Nope. It was just educational.
Any questions?
You learned about me.
No,
You learned
is there a
about the Jeep.
book called like Jeeping 101? Jeeping for Dummies?
Uh-huh. It's called, what's the dude that does the finance shit?
Dave Ramsey?
Dave Ramsey. Just read a Dave Ramsey book. That's
No,
all you need
I
to know
would-
about a Jeep.
I would point you towards...
Stay away from it.
Yeah. No, I would point you towards just get on YouTube.
That's what I've been doing.
There's
Like Janet came home one day and she's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "Watching
Oh, yeah.
videos."
so
She's like, "You're
there's
stupid.
Pizza rolls in the fridge.
it's not Jeep specific, but there's a lot of stuff about off-roading on a bunch of different channels. One of the ones that I like a lot are some guys from Australia, and they get kind of crazy, but they also have a lot of educational stuff on there about how they have their stuff set up.
I think I watched that.
It's 4-wheel drive 24/7.
Yep.
Yeah. So that one, Trail Recon's a good one. That dude, he's super knowledgeable, and he doesn't do crazy stuff. And his stuff is more about getting out, having an adventure. They do a lot of cooking type stuff too. And then Overland X is a buddy of his, and it's mostly cooking outside. But he's got one of the new Jeep 392s with this big camper trailer, and I mean, it's pimp.
I will say
Marco's awesome.
If you go out to Colorado and you're going to do a trail, every trail has multiple videos on it. Like,
Yeah.
Trail Recons usually, those are the ones I watched before I went to Colorado and Moab on my own. They're pretty good.
And then, is it All Trail? Not All Trails, but it's Trails Off Road.
Oh, yeah.
They do like really in-depth like trail guides where they go out and drive the trail, and they show a lot of video on it. But then for Colorado and I want to say California too, they have books.
Yeah, you gave me the Colorado book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gave him the Colorado one.
Yeah, and that will tell you, because that's one of the hardest things is just finding the trail. A lot of times
They have one for Utah.
I would assume that they would. Yeah.
I don't know if they have one for Arizona. Do they have one for Wyoming? Did you guys see one when you were up there?
I did not go to Wyoming.
Oh.
I wasn't able to go. I had just got my 4-door like 2 months before, and I had done nothing to it. And they were going to do, what's the name of the trail?
Jackson?
Morrison
something?
Trail.
Morrison, yeah.
The Morrison Trail, which I still want to go do because it looks like an awesome trail. But I didn't have a winch. I didn't have a rear bumper, a front bumper. Like, I had nothing done to the Jeep, and got a phone call. Hey, we're leaving in 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, I can't go. So I don't know that they have a book for that, but I do know they have, which he gave you the Colorado book. I think they've got one for California, Utah, all the Moab areas. They probably have one for Arizona because I know they do some stuff there.
Yeah.
Arkansas has a ton of off-road trails, a ton. And the
Which
best.
I will never be going to. I'm not.
Why? Dude, Arkansas is awesome. And especially if you just want to go for a weekend, like, it's ridiculously fantastic.
Did you forget what happened down there?
Those aren't the trails that I've been on recently.
Okay, then I'm cool.
Yeah. It's more like we will plan a weekend.
I'm not doing the Blue Trail. I'm not doing it.
We're not going to that trail system at all.
Oh, my God.
We'll go do the High Watermark Trail.
Crushed. And I mean absolutely crushed my transmission 5 minutes into the trail.
Because I told him, get an oil plan, transmissions, and I told him which one to get. And what did he get? He bought a whole bunch of rough country shit.
I don't think
He bought diff covers, and those helped him a lot.
I don't think you had told me then.
Yes, I did, because that was after we had went to Tuttle. That was well after.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to go to Arkansas that trip.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, it literally took 7 hours to tow me out. It was terrible. And it was one of those, like, we got in just far enough that we couldn't really reasonably turn around. And I had, like, basically come down on a rock in the river and just crushed my transmission. And it made it about another 20 minutes. And it started skipping, and I was like, whatever. And then it just died. When I was, like, a foot deep in mud on, like, this corner that we broke so many winch cables getting me out. It was terrible.
Yeah. No, so Gaia GPS is a really great GPS system. You can download it on your phone, and it'll show you all the forestry roads, trails, and stuff like that. Some of them, like whenever I was telling you we were on that 4-wheeler trail, that's one of them that we misread.
Right.
We thought it was a Jeep trail, and it wasn't. So you got to kind of pick and choose through it. But Arkansas is completely mapped on Gaia. My buddy Bart that I was talking about earlier, he said in Colorado it's less effective. I don't know why, but he spent like a month out there, and he said it was almost useless. He used all trails, I think. He said was really effective out there.
Well, like half of those are still county roads, too.
Yeah.
That's what's weird. Like mountain passes are county roads.
Yeah. Well, that's Arkansas. They're all either county roads or forestry roads.
So if you fuck your Jeep up, you're on a county road.
Yeah. So, but it's I would highly recommend it, especially like if you have time, 2-3 days, whatever, you can go down there, you can hit a bunch of trails, get a bunch of experience, and there's nothing super hard, super technical. I mean, there's a couple spots, but yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and get AAA. I will tell you this. AAA was on its way to the top of Engineer Pass to pick me up. I am a huge advocate for AAA. I just passed the tow truck on the way down. I was like, oh, I think that was for me.
So is that when your pulley went out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the biggest thing. Talk to as many people as you can as far as people who actually go off-roading with their Jeeps and stuff, and you can pick up a ton of tips and tricks, but ultimately what it boils down to is what's going to work for you.
Right.
So whatever brand, of parts you find success with, that's all up to the individual. And then however you set your Jeep up, if you want to do overlanding, you want a rooftop tent, you want a badass drawer system for cooking or whatever it may be, you got to make it work for yourself. Or if it's just, hey, I'm going to go out for a weekend, I'm going to throw the cooler in the back and whatever, then cool. But since you have a winch, I would say invest in some recovery gear, just especially if you're going to go out by yourself, which I don't recommend.
Yep. I'm not planning on it.
Yeah. Then
Unless you just enjoy your butthole puckering.
Yeah.
You'll do it.
Yeah. Know how to use your winch, get it out, make sure it's working, all of that stuff. And then know your vehicle, and know the common problems associated with that vehicle. So if you have a warning light on, you know, okay, this is something that needs to be addressed, or I can kind of ignore that. So, and know, one thing that I didn't know, but from watching the 24/7, the 4-wheel drive 24/7 videos, they're always fucking swapping out alternators on that thing because the type of vehicles they're using, the alternators hang low and they get mud in them, whatever. And they're pretty straight up and honest of, hey, this is happening. I know what the problem is because they have a lot of experience with that type of vehicle and they know what the problem is. So, and in the grand scheme of things, the alternator is not hard to change. So knowing how to do that basic stuff and carrying some basic tools, maybe a spare part that, kind of is prone to fail, not terrible ideas.
All right.
There's a surprisingly, as much of a pain in the ass as they are, if you know what you're doing, they're fixable almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Outside of like an idler pulley at the top of a mountain, they're fixable.
Yeah.
Or at least have even if they break, they can get you home. Like if you break an axle shaft, you can still lock your axles and get where you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, even if it's broken, doesn't mean it won't move. Most of the time. Sometimes, yes, but sometimes no.
There's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
It's experience, failure.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like just accept the fact that you're going to break shit, even accidentally. You'll learn.
Well, yes and no. I would say, like I was telling you earlier, know your vehicle, know its capabilities, and know your capabilities as a driver. If it looks sketchy, think twice about it. Don't hesitate to get out, look at the line, and know what you're looking at. That's one of the biggest things. And that just comes with experience of doing it. So.
That's why you got to go on the 26th.
If you're saying I have to go because you're going to use me as a reference,
Yeah.
no. No.
Hey, you're going to be the one answering to Jana if something bad happens.
Fuck me.
I like how you keep throwing that out there.
I'm a scapegoat. That's what the fuck
Exactly.
it is. There's no doubt in my mind if it comes back with a scratch on. Well, Moran did it.
Yeah, Moran said I could do it.
He was insistent. I told him no, and then he just was like,
Honey, he pushed my foot down on the accelerator. Yeah. I was helpless to stop him.
I was standing out talking to so-and-so. Next thing I know, my Jeep is gone, and Moran's just like, fuck you, it's going to do it. And then it was upside down. I don't know what happened. I heard, send it.
Actually, we just need to keep him away from Jennifer.
Yeah, and Opie.
Yeah, I don't know. Jennifer's Jeep is nothing special. It's just a nice lifted Rubicon. Okay tires, okay lift. It cannot, and I mean cannot, get stuck. It can't. I don't know how.
Except the time that she was trying to go up that hill, and it kept sinking down in Colorado.
Oh,
And then she was almost going to, like, it almost flipped, and she was sliding backwards, and it was pretty sketchy. And it was like, everybody's on the radio. Come back. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. So it's fun, dude. Especially you get a group of people out there who just want to have fun, and it's just about, riding the trail, and that's all it is.
Right.
It's a great time.
That's what I want to experience.
you'll have a blast.
All right. Well,
It's like a blooper episode of the Washdown.
almost.
Yeah, like a deleted scenes. If you bought the DVD special package, you get this episode type.
Here's all the shit that we didn't feel like was good, so we're just going to throw it on the DVD. All right. Well, we're going to end it the same way that we end it every time. If you're struggling, reach out. There are resources out there. If you know somebody that's struggling, reach out and let them know you care. Let them know where the resources are. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Lighthearted for the most part. And then we talked about James's problems. So, yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me again.
Scott's a police officer for anybody that didn't view his first episode. That just bought a Jeep.
Yeah. And he is still incapable of talking in the microphone.
Me?
Him.
Oh, yeah.
I was up there.
Just as long as we're bagging on somebody else in this episode. Thank God.
All right. That's it. End it. Let's go.